Why we got rid of the stupid dumbass mechanic by Elo Bandit. In 1v1, if every Pokemon can Dynamax, they all do, and the game becomes when you Dynamax instead of what Pokemon you choose. Dynamaxing gives you double HP and replaces your moves with max moves. Double HP means matches take twice as long. A match that should take 1 turn takes 2. A match over in 2 is extended to 4. You can hit a 4 times weakness and fail to KO by a decent margin. This slows down the overall pace of the metagame. A Dynamax metagame is made up of roughly 20 moves. You've got the max moves, mainly Phantasm, Knuckle, Geyser, Flare, Lightning, and Airstream, and Steel Spike. And then you've got some that are usually useless, and of course Max Guard. And then you do have some moves that are useful without Dynamaxing, which are Substitute, Ghost-type Curse, Reversal, which hits for very high base power when compared to Max Knuckle, Fishious Rend, which doubles its base power if you go first, same with Bolt Beak. Bulk Up is very useful in some matchups, especially with Prankster Grimmsnarl, and Endure is very good, especially when combined with a plus stat Berry. Not worth using in a Dynamax metagame are Protect, because it doesn't fully block max moves, Encore and Disable, because maxed Pokemon just ignore those effects completely, Trick, because maxed Pokemon ignore the effects of choice items, Trick Room, because taking the turn to set it means that you're going to be bulking a hit from a Dynamax Pokemon turn 1, meaning you're going to lose the match anyway, and Taunt, because once again, there's really no point to taunting something that's just going to Dynamax and KO you with its max moves. So really, the Dynamax meta is very, very centralized around these about 20 moves. No more ability and item combos. Going into Dynamax renders a majority of items and abilities pretty much pointless, because Dynamaxed Pokemon ignore the boosts from choice items, rendering Scarf, Band, and Specs mostly ineffective, and interactions such as Sheer Force plus a move with a secondary effect are totally negated. At the beginning of this gen, I was really excited to experiment with Copperajah and the Sheer Force, but it turns out that the max moves do not take your abilities like Sheer Force into account at all. So it's just very boring, and building teams ends up feeling entirely one-dimensional. Good Dynamax play beats good team preview play. It matters very little with a Dynamax metagame which Pokemon you actually pull out, and everything depends on how you play around Dynamaxing. If you substitute on a predicted Dynamax, you're likely to win. If you Dynamax on a predicted non-sub or non-Dynamax, you're most likely to win. This is an example battle where I was simply able to G-Max on turn 2 and win because of it. My opponent didn't max as soon as they should have, and because of this, they were taken out. Regular form Pokemon simply cannot stand up to a Gigantamaxed Pokemon or a Dynamaxed Pokemon at all. Finally, and most importantly, it's just not fun to play. Going after match of the same Dynamax versus Dynamax, should I wait? Should I max now? Should I substitute? It isn't entertaining. It really starts to wear on a player, and trying to play more than a few matches in a row can become very tedious and very frustrating. This is a metagame without much variety, without much innovation, where the game really is boiled down to a much simpler system that frankly isn't an improvement. I can't wait to see this metagame develop once we no longer have Dynamaxing to contend with. After significant discussion on Smogon and Pokemon Showdown and Discord, Dynamax was banned from 1v1 December 1st, 2019.